further, Mr. Speaker, amongst other things, democracy, the community of nations of the world. Mr. Speaker, I congratulate Senator Catherine Muma for participating in this very important conference together with our colleagues. And because we have no other way we can express some of these things, if indeed IPU was about the greater role of democratizing within communities of the world, I urge the IPU to up their game, to find the strength to speak to African leaders. Mr. Speaker, today we are seeing presidential elections in African countries being conducted by the sitting presidents in office, who give no role to the electoral commissions in their countries. In the process, Mr. Speaker, their opponents are locked out of the race, their opponents are arrested, their opponents are detained, their opponents are abducted, their opponents are even killed, Mr. Speaker. Even killed, Mr. Speaker. The IPU must take over the role of the African Union, because the African Union, instead of speaking to this, they are busy congratulating their colleagues. The African Union has now become a talk shop, a special club for African presidents to protect each other. Mr. Speaker, we know of recent elections in Africa where senior African politicians have witnessed elections in their countries from prison, charged with treason, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we know of African countries where thousands of citizens have been killed. We know of African countries where Kenyans are being harassed in their hotels, in their businesses, in those countries, because they are being suspected to be the ones who are responsible for the unrest. Africans should know that Kenyans are very hard-working people. When they go to their countries, they are looking for business. They are not going there to play politics. I would like, at least as far as Kenya is concerned, our government to protect Kenyan citizens in such a countries where they are currently being harassed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when I see the kind of business that African countries lose because of this instability, I say, how I wish the standing orders of Parliament of Kenya could be changed so that we could do substantive debate on this very, very serious issue, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for some of us, our communities cut across nations. For example, if you take the Kenyan Somali, his relatives are in Somalia, his relatives are in Ethiopia. So when unrest takes place in those two countries, the Kenyan Somali is expected to keep quiet. Similarly, the Luos, the Maasais, they are in Kenya, they are in Tanzania. When their relatives face this kind of atrocities, we are supposed to keep quiet. Similarly, the Luyas and Tesos, our relatives are in Uganda. And when these things happen, we are supposed to keep quiet. Maybe we should change standing orders so that African parliaments can boldly debate the nonsense that is going on where the African Union has failed. I support.
Senator Maant.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, IPO is a very important organization in the world. And just as Senator Khalwale had observed, it could be useful in advice and in guiding in many principles that members of parliaments all over Africa and many other parts of the world uh, could advise governments, Mr. Speaker, or could influence politics, Mr. Speaker, in a certain way. Mr. Speaker, what has been happening in the world currently is very unique. The situation in the Sudan, Mr. Speaker, the violence in Tanzania, what we have seen in Nigeria, Mr. Speaker, Christians butchered in churches, yet it is reported that Muslims are killed more than Christian, and promptly the American government to want to intervene and bring, these groups which kill people, to an end. Mr. Speaker, IPU could help resolve these matters. I believe all these countries, their members of parliament attend IPU, and part of bringing peace into the world or giving suggestions and influencing politics of the world, Mr. Speaker, for the betterment of it, is that sharing and experiences and the best practices, Mr. Speaker, could improve the situation. I believe the best practices of politics could make the world better, because, Mr. Speaker, seems the world is led by politicians. Politicians influence what happens in many situations. I've seen the report of observers, and part of our members of parliament went to observe elections in Tanzania, Mr. Speaker. They have brought back very interesting scenarios whereby the citizens decided to attack properties belonging to politicians they thought had caused strain in these particular countries. And Mr. Speaker, that's something to be learned by ourselves and by many parliaments of the world. When citizens decide to target certain people and destroy their properties completely, former presidents, influential people in parliament, influential people of political parties, they target just that particular family, Mr. Speaker. It's a very sad situation, Mr. Speaker. In a situation whereby politics destabilize a country, Mr. Speaker, innocent people suffer, like the case in the Sudan now. You see families running away, families having lost their residence, families, divided, and the people lost. Mr. Speaker, I believe the members of the Parliament of Sudan who probably come to IPU and could have shared experiences in different places of the world. And Mr. Speaker, we could reduce the suffering of the people through parliaments, Mr. Speaker, and through members of parliament when they share their experiences. Political parties and how politics are conducted, Mr. Speaker, is very interesting. Quite a number of our very good friends have lost their nominations in Uganda, and most of them were targeted, the ones in cabinet and are also in the house. And in the same political party, Mr. Speaker, they decide, we are not nominating you. It is time for you to go home. And these people move to independence and resist and want to go back to the people, while the people are telling them, please take a little bit of rest. We compare somebody else that maybe we'll have you in future. And I believe these experiences, Mr. Speaker, while shared, each one of us will learn something from another member of parliament from another country. And every time there are international gatherings, my members of parliament really share their experiences on politics, on development, and how generally a country gets affected when politicians or political parties take certain decisions. Our own experience here, Mr. Speaker, with the death of the Right Honourable Raila Odinga, everything, Mr. Speaker, seems to have gone back to the drawing board. People are realizing this man, Raila Odinga, really was holding a very important place in this country. He from the days he was in parliament to the many things he has participated locally and internationally, to the bringing in of a new constitution, Mr. Speaker. It had gotten to a level that the old constitution could no longer hold this nation together. And the politicians and members of parliament came together, took the best constitutions all over the world, looked for the best legal practices, and came up with a constitution, Mr. Speaker, which is largely accepted. And after elections now, people are able to move on. I wish also other